Hi everyone, Bitcoin here from the
Big Jabowski.
This round I am up against Daka Flocka Flame from the guild. If it's going to load, yeah, my internet's been super slow. Echoes of the Empire. Internet's been really slow since I guess a lot of people are at home and consuming a lot of internet in general, which is just in general made everything super slow, like uploading videos to YouTube, trying to watch anything at all. And normally seen internet's supposed to be pretty good around here, but whatever. So yeah, up against this guy, he has a high lifetime score. He has actually better mods than me. So when comparing, there's not a whole lot of people around my GP that have better mods, but this guy does. Has of course a very formidable General Skywalker team, but also has a fully relicked Commander Luke Skywalker team with a Relic 7 R2-D2. You don't see those a whole lot. That he used up against my General Skywalker, which I'll show you in a moment. And for the rest, he's just got a really good roster. If you sort by speed, it's a pretty funny one, because the character he has here at the bottom right, his Hermit Yoda, is over 280 speed. So he's got really, really good mods. Even his Gear 11 Dooku here just casually has 301 speed. I don't really have that kind of speed on a whole lot of Gear 11 characters, so pretty awesome to see. Will be a challenge to fight some of these for sure. Wouldn't surprise me to find Dooku on defense under Newt or something, because it's just a very attractive team for him to set. It's easy to underestimate due to the gear levels, but the speeds and the extortion combined can very quickly do a ridiculous amount of damage, so that will be interesting for sure. Now obviously I lost the last round here up against Baka. I spoke with him a little bit, just in general to talk about our match, and one of the things that kind of stood out to me was the fact that he had a roster that is really built to counter people like me who have invested a lot of resources into their General Skywalker, and while that's nice, he doesn't have any relict clones, so essentially his Ki-Adi-Mundi is non-existent and is not going to be around. So what he's done is sort of a trade where he has an advantage right now, which is very nice, but in the long term that advantage may not end up paying off. So if I look here, my Ki-Adi-Mundi is currently at 37 out of 80 shards. It will be a couple more TBs until I unlock him, but I will probably 7-star it long before that guy, because he's sitting in a lower GP guild and he just doesn't have the setup to get his own Ki-Adi-Mundi shards either, which makes getting into a higher GP guild a lot harder as well. So those are the kind of things that are important to think about. I could have also relicked up my General Skywalker team already, for example, to get a competitive advantage in Territory Wars or in Grand Arena. You could argue it's a bit difficult if I already have all of these other relics, but I could have done that, but it would have meant that I would unlock Galactic Legend Rey or Kylo a lot later. So you trade in short-term benefits for long-term benefits, and that's not something I'm usually really fond of. So you can make those kind of decisions and get benefits out of them, and I'm by no means discounting the guy who beat me, because he did it fair and square and played phenomenally, but it's something to think about. You can build your roster in such a way that it allows you to take out a lot of people, but it does need to also help you in the long run, because if it doesn't, then I feel like it's not worth doing, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, let's get into the match here. My opponent already attacked. I also did, actually. I attacked last night because there was... Well, let me correct myself there. I did one attack because I was 3 stuns away from the cup feat, and the cup feat is one I didn't actually end up getting, because what I had to do in order to get it was pretty much commit to multiple fights if I wanted to get it for sure. So quite a lot of lag here. I'm not feeling super comfortable about that, but hey. So what I did was attacking his Geos with my Plow and Nest, and I was hoping that my Nest could get 3 stun attempts in, but unfortunately by the time I managed to kill Poggle, who ability blocks me and stops me from using the stuns, I was hitting so hard that I just couldn't get enough stuns anymore and get that down. So I'll be showing you the footage just real quick if you're interested in this, but I didn't really have any other time to do more battles because I was busy. And I would have really had to commit to this front zone first here with Kylo Ren Unmasked and with General Skywalker, and I just didn't have the time and wanted to take my time today to go through the offense because it is a very skilled player, and I didn't want to rush it and then sort of make a video on half of my attempts or something. And I don't really care about feats that much anyways. I know Cup is like a holy symbol, like a prophet for a lot of people, but not so much for me. So yeah, my opponent, he cleared my board. We talked a little bit as well. He said I set a really interesting defense, which gave him some second thoughts there. And I was wondering what exactly he failed on and why that happened, because he even made some videos on CLS up against General Skywalker. Yeah, nothing too interesting for the rest, but very friendly guy, seemed like a fun dude. So yeah. What did he do? He attacked my front here first. I honestly didn't have a whole lot of time to set my defense. It was kind of rushed. I wanted to try something different, but didn't have a whole lot of time to sort of verify whether that made sense or not. So it was a bit of a, yeah, in some ways a bit of a guess for me whether it was going to work out. So I set these two up front, and kind of immediately after setting them, I wished I had laid it out differently. But yeah, he one-shot both of those. Then I set my troopers in the back because I needed some kind of filler team. I wanted to keep Ewoks for offense in case they could help me to clean something up, which they do better than my trooper team. So that's pretty wasted in general, but yeah, he didn't have a trooper team of his own to take mine out, so I figured he would have to send in something else, and maybe, small chance, he would lose some banners somewhere. Then the Darth Revan team here actually pulled out Bastilla Fallen, and my initial idea was to potentially set Emperor Palpatine with Bastilla on defense, but I felt like I was going to go too hard on defense and potentially not full clear him, and I was quite sure he would full clear me, so I didn't want to take that risk. But I pulled her out because his Bastilla Fallen was way faster than mine, 320 or something like that, and I knew he would have no trouble one-shotting my team, so all I really needed him to do was lose some banners in the process, and he did that. Because ultimately his banner average is something like 53, and even with the fail that he had on my one team, which was his General Skywalker team, he still didn't get a great banner average, so that gives me a little bit of breathing room, but it all depends on how I do up against his General Skywalker. So yeah, he took 2 attempts over here. It just didn't work out getting through 5s in time, he said, so that's lucky for me. And then these other 2 teams, I actually threw CLS in the lead here because I want to see if my Gear 10 Kira can carry Han and Chewie together with some others to give me the same results as CLS would, essentially. I'm not sure if that's going to be a smart choice, but it definitely stole some banners from him because this team counters quite a lot. So yeah, just a test to see if this is something that would work out for me in the future. It's really quite slow, but just not a whole lot I can do. I can sort of shut off the stream and try again later if the internet's better, but that's no guarantee either. So anyways, yeah, the fleet in the back. As long as it doesn't disconnect, now I'm good. So nearly all my reinforcements came out here, so that's good. It means it took quite a while and stole a lot of banners as well. So despite the lag, I'm gonna go in and give it a shot. If that's what ends up costing me the match, then yeah, whatever, it'll be a pity. So his General Skywalker team then, I definitely want to tackle that first. Maybe I'll just chop the loading times out of the rest of the recording, so it's not an issue watching it. You don't have to sit there with me. 273, decent protection, high offense. Okay. And then we have 5s over here. 5s has decent protection as well. So yeah, for me it's all going to be a matter of, do I manage to one-shot this team? If I don't, I have to start using cleanups, and that will be a pain. So I'm going to go up against this team first, and hope that things work out. Or this is going to be a very brief Grand Arena match. Let's see what happens. Does Echo go? Nah, it's Skywalker. Alright, well at least my R2 did not get his cooldowns reduced and he did not get stunned by Echo. So he can protect the rest of the crew, that's good. Here I have to think a little bit. I like to cleanse with Padme, but I think that in this case I'm going to save the retribution. Yeah. Also because GK is the only one who really gets hit at this point. Now they're getting way too many attacks in. This is taking too long and Echo is going to get his AoE back very quickly. And that might end up hurting me big time. This should be able to topple him. Yes. So we go for 5s. There should not be any other kills besides him. And I definitely have to lower their protection to stand a good chance here. Okay, now I must go for Echo. Oof, this is a close one. If Echo would have gone even just before me here, I would have died. Good. That's not good. I'm going to use a retribution here because I think Skywalker, when he comes out of topple, he's going to use his AoE days. Oh, this will be so close. That's a pity. Oh, it's actually a kill. Okay, nice. Sometimes I forget how much actual offense Jedi Knight Anakin has, which is really nice. Okay, very nice banner count here. Very happy with that, 54. Awesome. Okay, so my Grand Arena is not an immediate loss. It depends. If it would have been just him left standing in the end, I think I would have still stood a good chance. If it was more than him, it's always a bit dicey. It depends on what the cooldowns are like, who gets targeted, if anyone gets focused down, so definitely dodgy. So yeah, anyways, we have Kylo Ren unmasked here. Let me just check the speeds on the team. The thing is that a really nice counter to this is my Geo team. Even if they are all faster, they target out your Brute in the beginning, but you just resummon one. But if he also has that new team in the back, that would be something else I wouldn't mind using my Geos up against. But in this case I can also CLS that without actually using CLS, I suppose, but I could use Han to immediately shoot out Watt to prevent any tech from coming in, and that would be good enough. So I'm going to take this one out with Geos now. Not a match I've done a whole lot. It's actually kind of funny because I advised my guildmate to use his Geos up against Arnold's Relic 5 to 7 First Order team with Sith Trooper, and everyone thought he cheated, but someone else already did it in the history as well. So that was a really neat counter there. So we go in with the full team, no need to risk anything. Their First Order officer doesn't even pass the turn meter. What a strange dude. So yeah, they target Brute, but they don't even kill him here because there's just not enough power on this team. If it was a Relic team, that would be a different matter. I could cleanse here to make sure that the Brute is taunting. That might actually be smarter, so I'll do that rather than the AoE. Now the first target that you want to take out is Hux, because as long as he has his advantage, he stops turn meter gains. I think I'll go with Poggle here to try to land an ability block. It did. I don't want to waste the special here. There's no point. He's going to die anyway because he's just gear 11. So I'll take out Fox now. And I think I'm going to blind him and daze him so that he doesn't counter. Also have to make sure to remember that Kylo Ren here stacks defense the more I hit him. So I need him to take a turn occasionally, and then for me to use my big spy hits to take him down. So all the debuffs that I deal obviously heal them a lot from Kylo Ren lead, but it's not enough to stop the team from taking him down. So he just attacked now. Spy has a special coming up, if I recall correctly, so I'll just save it for that, because he currently has a bunch of buffs and debuffs before I stack his defense more than it has already been stacked. Alright, let's see what I can do. There we go. Makes it so much easier. And this should be full banners. So Ox is very nice. He stops a bunch of counters or makes them a lot more difficult. But Geos is one that's just an absolute breeze. Even if they're higher relict, even if they're higher geared rather. I guess nowadays people say higher relict because it is in fact all about the relics. So this will take a while, probably until I get another special from my Spy. But that's okay. I just need to keep as many debuffs on him as possible, because those will allow my Spy to get a big hit in. And there we go. A little wing twitch here. He's the nervous one, I see. So currently on these Grand Arena videos, it seems like I have around 80, 90-ish views on each of them, and I'm pretty curious actually what kind of people are watching these videos and what kind of benefit they get out of them. So leave me a comment below, like how much GP do you have? Has anything helped you out in these videos so far, or is it just for entertainment purposes? I'm pretty curious what your experience is. So I actually expected one stronger team in the back here. I thought he would set his JKR in defense because that's what he has historically very often done. So that makes what he did on offense slightly less impressive, I'd say. He still did a great job, nothing, like, no bad words towards him, but I really thought he was going to have a stronger set in the back here. So that's really good for me. He does have his Relic 5 Nest on defense. That's a pretty tricky one. So I will probably change some of my initial thoughts or plans that I had up against his teams. So initially I was going to use my EP with Bastilla up against his Grievous team. Right now I don't see much of a point. I could still do it and then use JKR up against that Newt team, but JKR is just so much stronger here, especially considering it's just a Gear 11 Droidica, Gear 12 B2. I'm just going to get more banners here because this B2 is actually modded for Tenacity. And even though my Bastilla gives EP a lot more potency and his lead is there as well, I should be able to out-potency his Tenacity, so to speak. But just in the event that I don't and they get a single attack in, I throw away 5 banners entirely unnecessarily. And just because I won the hardest fight doesn't mean that this is a win yet, and it might still end up becoming a banner match. So I don't really want to be stupid there, get greedy, and screw it up. So what I'll be doing is probably, if it's willing to load, use my JKR up against Grievous, use my Treya up against the Newt team, and then I still have my Kira team. I guess I can try to do the feat up against Garth. That's probably a smart move. And then I still have my Bounty Hunters with Watt as well. But he uses a Django lead and he probably has the speed advantage on me. I've just got to check that. And then I still have my Rage Jedi training as well, but there is no there's no R2-D2 in there because I just used him. So I'm not much of a fan of using that up against Bounty Hunters. Yeah, 276 here. He's going to be 306. And then the Bosk is 314 with a fair bit of tenacity. But then again, he doesn't have the protection regeneration. So I think I want to try that. I've never done it, but Bounty Hunters with what? So I use Bosk lead up against Django. That could be pretty interesting. And if it doesn't work out, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to take something out and just clean up. So I might have to, or very likely have to multiple kill all of them, but I think I'll have more than enough survivability. I just have to be mindful of Django's no revive Zeta, actually. That's going to be a tricky one. But that could be a different fight that I try out, and then we'll see how exactly it goes. So I'll do that. I'll go up against here with my JKR. It's just a proven counter, especially considering these gear levels. So we do the usual thing. I wonder if at any point there's going to be a counter that displaces this one as being sort of cheaper to use, but also just so much more superior in pretty much every scenario. Now this is pretty nice. I didn't trigger Magna Guard in this case, so he's not taunting, so I can actually use these hits constructively. Heck, I'm tempted to save the direct focus here, because Bastilla is going to call in Grandmaster Yoda and Jolie as well, so I'm going to save it. Don't get to do that very often. I did think Bastilla would go before Jolie here though, but this should still be a kill. There we go. And there goes Grievous. What do I want to do next? I think I'll just focus on B1 a little bit and not trigger Magna Guard's taunt yet. Now hopefully my Jedi Knight Revan can come around here before he gets killed, because otherwise saving that direct focus was irrelevant. Okay, Droidica gave Jolie some love there. I think I'll go for the heal here. And there we go. Thinking if I want to do an AoE, there's no proper reason to, other than dropping some stacks on B1, but I'll be fine there. I definitely want to stop this guy. Really don't like Droidica roaming freely, even though he's just gear 11, so nothing much to worry about. Let's try and get 60 on this one. I'll see what I can do. Reduce the turn meter. And now swap. Nobody has high turn meter other than Hermit Yoda, who I don't really want to swap with, because he didn't have any cooldowns available. Thought so. That's the kill. Recovering JKR is going to be a tough one here. Dang. I don't want to waste the revive there in case he gets picked off. Waste it as a heal, that is. But we'll see what we can do. So getting closer. Put up the foresight here. Yeah, Jedi Knight Revan is not in a great spot. So what I would do here actually is direct focus Droidica. It's not going to stop him in any way, but it will allow me to recover banners without wasting a lot of stacks on B1 here. So by keeping him under control, I will do this one here actually. Hopefully I am able to recover more banners, but I could be wrong. It's a test. Let's see here. Hermit Yoda is fairly close to full. Just need Bastilla to take a turn and dispel it eventually. There we go. Now, let's see. Jolie is nearly full. Grandmaster Yoda is fairly close. I do need Revan to get his direct focus back soon. Because he is what should top everyone up. I just need him to end this, essentially. Hopefully this doesn't kill. Dang. This might also get me close, and now I can spend the heal. Doesn't really matter. Ah, dang. I didn't look at his turn meter. Oh well. That's gonna be 59. Oh, I was actually close in the time there. Oh well, I tried. 59 is still more than enough. A lot better than the near guaranteed 55 with the EP team. Alright. I don't want to move on the bounty hunters yet. I think Don't want to use CLS over here, obviously. I'll definitely, well, I keep saying CLS, but you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely went to Treya this one. I can bring Thrawn to top up my protection banners in the end and just stall on Nest, very likely. I really thought he would keep his, so that's the thing, he switched up. He wanted to set his Nest on defense, and I was thinking with those teams I was setting, like, man, I could set EP with Bastilla Fallen, but if I don't land Tenacity down on Nest, then she's going to solo my entire team, and I just won't be able to control her. So it was difficult to try to set extra teams just because he usually keeps this Nest on offense and solos spotmate teams with it and all kinds of stuff. So that made it pretty tricky to try to figure out what other teams I could set. And I was hoping that by throwing in troopers there, he would just send Nest against that and have to use something else up against my CLS. But that fortunately wasn't the case. So yeah, I'll be using Treya here then. Am I overlooking any teams? Because I think I get more for offense than I needed. Yeah, EP himself, I guess. But that's it. Didn't have a whole lot of wiggle room either. So yeah, I'll take out the other one first, and I'll use the Bounty Hunter's WAT team. Just in the case that I don't beat it, I can always come up with something else. I don't think I've actually ever done or seen this fight. I'm a little lower on the gear levels, but hopefully WAT nicely bumps up my power levels. And let's see what we can do. Might be a catastrophic failure. I have the tenacity boost. They have the potency boost. But my tenacity is losing. So one thing I have to be mindful of is I am not recovering any protection unless I take turns. That's really important. So what I think I want to do here is actually cleanse Boba so that he can get ability blocks in. Because Boba's ability blocks make a really big difference here. I know this will probably stealth him, but hey. So ability block Django before he rockets me. Good. There we go. Obviously there's also protection regeneration from the rest of the team, landing debuffs. But if they're all ability blocked, that's not too much. So, yeah, I'll do the group attack here. Might as well try to start burning through Bosk as far as possible. Definitely give this to Boba. I want to get more ability blocks on the board and just in general a lot of executes. This could actually be a kill here because he's just gear 9. Yes, perfect. That's not enough debuffs. It's so tempting, but it's not worth it. Hope I don't lose. I was just gonna say, I hope I don't lose what here, but chances seem pretty high. Also because they all have the Bounty Hunter's Resolve. This might be a kill though. He's got 6 debuffs. Resisted. He's got the damage immunity. That didn't actually. It might have shown. I wasn't paying attention. Pretty stupid. I was just focused on a number of debuffs there. I'm pretty sure he definitely had it on there. It doesn't get in there later on. So Watt handed out the tech and then said his goodbyes. I should pay a little bit of attention to the time and start speeding this up. Get my own contract off. And finish this fight up. Now obviously the real test is how does this work without Watt in there. They definitely have a huge speed advantage over me, so I'm guessing it would not have gone as well, but I don't know. I'll look up some video afterwards. Oh boy. Crazy damage there on Django with the offense up and the contract triggered. Let's heal him up. And get the cat out of here. Hopefully they can leave my Boba alone for a bit. He lost his weapon tech there, that's unfortunate. And he can't target anyone else other than Bosk here. So I'm pretty much forced to go for him. with Boba now, which is hurting me a little bit. Just 3 buffs is not enough. Although he seems fairly squishy in terms of health. Thought he had a little bit more. Alright, that leaves us with just Django, who can... I was just going to say, who can perfectly still kill someone. And there he did. He's got 4 thermal detonators on him. Hopefully, if I can kill him here before he takes a turn, then the detonators... actually, Django got the kill here. That works too. So pretty ugly in terms of banners. Although 54 is not the worst, considering the rest was still full protection. But got the job done. So did he put the negotiator? No, he didn't. So considering that people use their negotiators on offense up against the Malevolence and they get such poor banners, to me is just a clear sign that the negotiator is just more comfortable to use on offense. I mean, sure, the Malevolence can take out practically any negotiator fleet, but in terms of banners, it's always ugly. So once you manage to unlock both ships, I really think this is the way to go. Malevolence on defense, negotiator on offense. It might change with the resistance fleet coming in, with the finalizer coming in, but for now, this is my clear preference. Sometimes I'm sure I'll change it up, but yeah, that remains to be seen depending on the opponent. So what I can actually do here up against the Karth team is try to get that feat. I didn't think I was going to have any space for feats. Just gotta check who was involved in that one. So Han Solo, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, and Old Ben. I remember when the portraits came out, this was actually the first portrait that I used, the crate one, because they had a bunch of unnamed slots in there which had this icon, and I guess that's why they brought it back. Yeah, this feat is 100% not happening unless I manage to get 5 Han Solo kills here. Seems unlikely. Completely clear 20 territories. I should not forget about this one once again. Those are the easy kind of feats, the arena stuff, but in my fleet arena is not that competitive, fortunately, because I'm just ahead of the curve for most people and got my negotiator up long before some of the others. Either way, let's move on. I'll do this one first because it's, I suppose, the toughest battle. Now I can even bring my Bastilla Fallen here, which I guess I will. Whoops. Wrong guy. Scion, I'll just go with a full team. I'll switch these two up so I can more easily click on my Nihilus. There we go. So let's see what has in mind for his tech today. Taunting tech on L3 first makes sense, and then probably going for Nest next. So here what I like to do is turn meter swap to Treya for the isolate. There's no clear reason to do anything other than that. I could trigger the staggers on various characters by using Scion's AoE, but Scion will still go before Nest and before Newt, so there's not much of a reason to do that right now. So Dooku, he just stealths in the beginning, but that sped up Newt, I suppose. This is a bit annoying. I didn't get to cleanse the extortion here because I really wanted to use my drain. Definitely going to put Nest on hold for the time being. And now the extortion is going to start spreading. I'll let it spread for just a little bit and then I'm immediately going to start cleansing it. I have to get the initial specials out, even though it's going to hurt me a little bit here. So this Dooku is pretty weak, but I want to ability block Watt here and definitely kill him. Okay, I'm about to get my Annihilate here. And hopefully someone can unstealth because I don't want to kill L3 yet and I don't want to kill Nest yet. Nest is probably the one I want to stall on towards the end. tech did he not hand out yet? I think I'll take out Dooku here, just because Dooku is annoying. I don't like him. Cool character, really well designed, I think, in relation to the movies and his whole story, but annoying. So I still have a bit of extortion going around here. I'll have to make sure I get my protection back on Nihilus, who seems to have taken most of the beating. And there he is again. I think I'll need to go faster if I want to cycle through Thrawn's protection regeneration quicker. I'm going to need to make some speed here, so let's do that. Fortunately, Bastilla can recover her own stuff, so that's pretty nice. It's really nice as well to keep Nest either feared or fractured here, due to how I'm cycling through it. Cleanse all this, why not? So Sion's going to have to take care of himself. Also because he will be taking the incoming hits. I don't want to fracture right now, I think. Although I might end up regretting that, because if Nest does an AoE, I lose all of my progress. But I was hoping I would have a fear here, and I do, and it landed, so that's perfect. This Nest is fast, I believe, though. And draining here will trigger her and make her hit me again. Let's try. Yeah, not really ideal. Let's put this on Thrawn, get his turn meter swap back quicker. Maybe I'll just settle for this. The time is low. Yeah, didn't really work out. I might have stalled on L3 instead, but I feared that L3 would have too little health and protection to really allow me to get a lot of turn meter swaps in, so I'll just settle for this. And then finally the Karth team here, so I have my team cut out for me. I have a backup plan in case it goes wrong, actually multiple backup plans, because there's still Emperor Palpatine as well. So let's see how the Feet team does. And hopefully it does not defeat me. Sorry, that was terrible. Han, Chewie, thinking... Yeah, it's gonna have to be the Rebels. They don't get any benefit from Kira lead. I could also do Old Ben lead and try to get some... That might actually be nicer. I don't get the protection regeneration, but I do get some evasion. And then I can bring C-3PO, who adds a lot of exposed damage. I think I'll do that. And wait, I still have to add another Rebel. Because my Rage Edit training, she's not going to do great here anyway. I'd rather use Emperor Palpatine as my backup plan. Alright, level 70, Gear 8, Farm Boy Luke. This is going to be beautiful. I'll have to be a bit careful because... Yeah, I could go out, I could go check the mods and stuff, but I know like it's Canderous and Mission, and they're pretty tricky. So Old Ben's AoE turn meter control and turn meter removal rather, and ability blocks, those really have to land. Unfortunately, Farm Boy Luke is the one who's going to get guard from Chewie here, and I don't think he's particularly modded, so yeah, let's stun Wampa first. I guess the downside without Kira lead is I don't have a great option to remove Zalbar's taunt. I did not consider that. Fortunately, I didn't drop Wampa yet, but now I'm going to kill him so that he's not a threat at all. No kill. That's not good. Fortunately, I can get dazed. That's the beauty of the guard. Yeah, maybe Kira lead would have been a bunch nicer, but this will kill Wampa. And that's my one dispel on Zalbar, so I'm going to take it and kill him. I'll drop some banners, but that was as expected, doing it for defeat. Chewie tanking, that's pretty nice. I'll take it because he can recover his protection. As long as I don't lose my farm boy here. Look at him go. Let's put it on Chewie. Chewie is almost full protection. Luke, probably not gonna happen. What was the exact thing again? When Chewbacca deals damage, let's smash. Yeah, it's close, but not quite there. It's actually missing 3 banners there, but hey, I got the feed done, so I'll take it. Really didn't expect I'd be able to do it, so that's pretty funny. Alright, and then the fleet, how much GP and backup? I mean, I always check this. I don't feel like it's really necessary because people are always going to just put it full of a bunch of Gear 11, Gear 12 pilots, which will add the GP up a lot. I guess it's mostly just for my personal expectation. Because maybe it would have been like 80k more or whatever, and I'd be in trouble. So 4 ships, and let's see how they do. I've started to push the limits a little bit more. There's not much of a reason not to if I know that I have won the match. I just need to clean it up on a second attempt. The only annoying thing in the beginning here is that the Falcon will immediately take another turn, and if they then focus on my Ahsoka, she dies. And they usually do focus on Ahsoka. With the ghosts, that is. Hello? There we go. But she's going to get to take out the ghost this time. In a nice turn of events. Just because I'm faster, he has the lower geared pilots. My previous opponent had gear 12 plus Zeta Phoenix, so that made a really big difference. Always dispel that thing. It's tempting to use the special from 5s there, but not a good idea, because if it misses, then you're going to get hammered. So 64 in the end. I mean, whether I bring multiple reinforcements or not, usually I end up around the same. If I would have brought in Plo there and healed some of them, maybe 2 extra banners or something like that. But yeah, this worked out well. Maybe I should rush to set my defense more often and try some different things. So ended up with 40 more banners. So even if he wouldn't have lost the General Skywalker match, that's sort of what I wanted to do, is show that I didn't just get lucky because he had bad RNG. Because it's really lame to lose that way. Like, if I would have lost my General Skywalker match here, I think I would have still been able to beat him on banners, considering what he had in the back. So good match with him, great dude, and we might face each other again in the future, I suppose. We'll see. So that's it for the week. I won 2 out of the 3 matches this time. I guess I can go claim my crate. There we go. And let's see, what do I need to do in the last week? That's actually a good question. So I still have to earn roughly 7k points, which means that ideally I win, let's say you get about 2k points per match if you include some random feat, and then another 1.6k for a win. So either I full clear 3 times and get all of the feats done that are still out there, something like that, or I win twice, right? Like full clear 3 times could be 3 losses even, or I win 2 times. Yeah, essentially I should have it in the bag, as long as I don't go too ridiculously heavy on defense. But then again, there might be some opponents that make me want to do that. I don't have that in control, I suppose. So still got a while to go, but I think I should be okay. If I win 2 matches, then I'm already good. I don't need to do anything in the last one. If I only win 1 match, I should also be good. And I think the odds of losing all 3 of my matches are low. So for Kyber, I should be okay because it's a lot more lenient this time. I hope all of you had a great week in Grand Arena. I wish you good luck in the 4th one, and I'll see you all again soon for another video.